Welcome to Kellyanne Cares, a one-of-a-kind show created to motivate, stimulate, educate, and inspire you, personally and professionally. Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm an entrepreneur, patient advocate, content creator, and author. You may know me from the Everything is Messy book, brand, and podcast. But what you may not know is how hard I had to work to get me to where I am today. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And in this season, I'm more driven and extremely passionate about my purpose to help you save the time, money, and energy it takes to be happier and get healthier with your mind, body, business, and life. Tune in every week to hear raw, unfiltered conversations from myself and my incredible guests as we discuss trending topics, share stories of resilience, and chat about all things health, wealth, healing, and wellness. Whether you're here to listen, learn, or laugh, I promise to bring awareness and add more value to your day. Take this time to relax and recharge. Listen, life is short. Invest in yourself. Be loud, be different, be you, and most importantly, enjoy the ride. Buckle up because today's podcast experience starts now. One more thing, sharing is caring. I would love your thoughts on today's episode. Head on over to Apple Podcasts to rate, review, and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. Want to continue the conversation? Let's connect online. You can find me at kellyanngorman.com and all my social links are in the show notes. Now let's get into today's show. Hello. Welcome back to a brand new episode where today I'm going to give you a little glimpse into my life and what has been going on with my career and my personal life over the last couple of months because it's been kind of rough, I'm not going to lie. And I go searching for this kind of information. And so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to do a show on it so that I can help more people. Because that's the whole purpose of this show. It's the whole purpose of my book. And it's the whole purpose of my brand. To create things that need to exist to help others, right? So here's the show. So over the last couple of months, I have been working on these projects, really stepping out of my comfort zone. I had to make a lot of different moves in my personal life and in my business to make these things happen. And I lined everything up. If you're new here, I'm probably one of the most organized people that you've ever met, online and in real life. And I like to plan everything. I like to prep my meals. I like to plan ahead for trips and everything. I make lists for every single thing. My friends make fun of me, but that's just me. I've always been organized. I always love a good color coding situation. And I put everything into place where it needed to be in order to take this next step in my career. So I had pitched about 100 times, and what I've received back, I'd probably say I'm now at half is no. And that's fine because I'm always looking for more opportunities. But when you repeatedly hear no, it just gets you in like such a disappointing frame of mind, no matter how much personal development work you're doing with yourself and on yourself. It's kind of like a hard time. And for me, I was just like, why? That's the question you want to ask. Like, now I'm like, okay, I'm failing. Why is this happening? Like all the self-doubt feels, right? And I have to change my mindset. But there's a few quotes that I found that I want to share with you. First of all, I want to share two people that I always listen to that really that changed my mindset like immediately. And the first one is Trent Shelton. And his podcast is called Straight Up with Trent Shelton. He has a lot of really short and sweet episodes, and he just puts me in the right frame of mind. And then another one that I recently came across is Eddie Pinero, and his show is called Your World Within. And his media on YouTube and graphics and just the whole production of what he pushes out online is absolutely incredible. But what he's saying is even better. So I highly recommend, if you're ever in a place like I have been, to go listen to Eddie Pinero, Your World Within, and Straight Up with Trent Shelton, because they'll definitely pick you up and put you in a different spot, especially like when you're down in the dumps. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. And I love, switching up how I'm feeling and doing, getting out of my head and trying to be more grounded, but sometimes that shit just doesn't work. And you just need to just sit in the shit, I think it's called. One of my clients says that. Shout out to Heidi. Okay, so here are the quotes that I found. Failure is nothing more than a chance to revise your strategy. Failure is nothing more than a chance to revise your strategy. I think that's really good. That quote is from Sissy Gavrelaki. I hope I didn't screw up her name. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. That is gold. Experience taught her, hurt raised her, neither define her. Adrian Michael. Last one. Success is not built on success. It's built on failure. It's built on frustration. Sometimes it's built on catastrophe. Sumner Redstone. Those are so good. I had to share them with you. And that's just how I felt over the last couple of months. And then going through this like big move and setting up this next chapter of my life. That's why I was planning everything. And now none of that worked out. Welcome to entrepreneurship. So I just need to share with you a couple things that if you're interested in becoming an entrepreneur, or if you are yourself, like you're not alone when you feel like this. And this is something that I haven't really shared a lot. I wrote about it a little bit in my book, but like what's currently happening, like right now in my life, this is something that I had to really, really work on mentally, physically, emotionally, like get out of my own head. And the things that I do all the time to do that are spend more time in nature, ground, go on more walks in the beach, like eat healthier. I try to drink less, but sometimes I drink more. I do extra sound baths. I always do sound baths when I sleep at night, but then during the morning and the afternoon, I incorporate some more breath work. I have 2 or 3 hour FaceTimes with my friends. I do all the self-care. I'm talking hair mask, face mask, hand mask, foot mask. Like I do my brows, I do my nails, like give yourself a pedicure, whatever you personally need to get out of a funk and get out of your head. Just fucking do it. If you need to, I've gone on so many drives and this is like almost ridiculous because of the price of gas, but sometimes I just need to blast the music, put the windows down and go on a coastal drive. And I can't even tell you how many times I've done that. In my mind, I decided while this is happening, I'm going to try really hard to be as healthy as possible, juice more, protein shake more, stir fry more, like eat and drink the rainbow. And that's what I've been doing. So today I weighed myself and I thought it was going to happen this weekend, but I'm officially down 20 pounds. And now I feel like I can lose another 20. The first 20 is always the hardest. I go to the sauna and sweat my ass off at least 5 times a week. I try. Sometimes I even go 6, but that's kind of a lot. You really need to hydrate the hell out of your body if you're going to do that. And I try so hard to drink at least a gallon of water a day. And you just get so dehydrated if you're not doing that. And I love a good electrolyte situation. I use them there's this audio on TikTok where you have like all the drinks in the morning, and I have all the drinks. I have all my waters, I have my electrolytes, I have my chlorophyll, I have my green juice, I have my iced coffee, I have my protein shake. Like it's all liquids till like 1 p.m. with me. So I really should film a TikTok using that audio. But going back to getting out of your own head and changing your mindset, changing what is going on in your head. Because I know that it's a lot, because I know with me, it's definitely a lot. And when it comes time to diving back into your work and running a business, or even if you're just starting off, entrepreneurship is not easy. And it's definitely not for everyone. And going through all of my belongings, getting ready for this huge move, and purging and packing and donating and selling and doing all those things, like I'm going through, it took me 13 hours the other day to go through just like documents and business stuff and shred shit. And that's a lot of time. And looking at all of these things, I'm like, wow, like it was kind of emotional. Like I'm about to get emotional now, but I was just like, wow, what a ride. And even somebody was at my house a couple weeks ago, and she's like, oh my God, you've done so much. And sometimes I forget, like, how lucky I am, because I have done a lot. And I've had these incredible opportunities in my life that not everybody can get. You know, I worked overseas for a really long time. I've traveled the world on more than 60 cruise ships and yachts and private jets, and created luxury experiences in Vegas. I was a pro makeup artist for like 2 decades. Like, that's not normal. Nothing I've ever done is normal. So I feel like entrepreneurship is perfect for me, because you can create everything that needs to exist, make it your own, build your own brand. There's so many ways that you can be successful, and there's so many ways that you can fail, and it will literally hit you like a ton of bricks. And you just have to put a positive spin on it. Go back to those quotes that I just read, because I'm literally doing the same thing, and just figure it out. And I was lying in bed last night, and I'm like, okay, so tomorrow's Monday. My week is already planned and I'm prepared. So what's going to be like coming my way? I'm waiting for this like incredible opportunity. And I had recently launched yesterday, because that was the plan on May 1st, to launch my new on-demand summer coaching experience, which I'll get into in a minute. But I'm just like, where do I want to live? Because that fell through. Do I want to travel? Do I want to be a nomad? Do I want to stay in San Diego? I literally have 2 weeks to figure this out. And because everything that I was working on fell through, that lined everything else up to fall through. So this is the current situation. I don't know what I want to do, and that's totally okay. I've had a storage unit in every city that I've ever lived in, which is so many. And the thought of that is like, do I really want to do that? Like, do I want to travel for the summer and just like be one with nature and be a nomad? Because that was the original plan, was to drive all the way up to Northern California and do all of that. And then the pandemic happened. So now 2.5 years later, here we are. So I'm like, should I go back to that plan? Should I go on like a tour and go to all the places that I want to go travel to? Do I want to pitch some hotel brands and work with them and create content? Do I want to stay in San Diego? You know, there's all these things that are like constantly running through my head, where I'm trying to figure out like, what's the next step? And that's the best part about being in entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur, is because you make the rules. And if you're running a business online, you can literally work from everywhere and anywhere. But at the same time, I like stability. I don't really want to live out of my luggage again. I did that for over a decade. But half of my body and brain is telling me like, you just need to travel and then settle. And then the other half is like, bitch, what do you think you're doing? You need to be in a home. You need to, like, this is what you've been craving. This is what you've been wanting for all these years since you've been sick. So that's my current situation. So there's one word and one thing that you can never get back in life, and that's time. And my mentor, Jesse Itzler, if you're not familiar with him, you may be familiar with a woman named Sarah Blakely, who just sold Spanx. And Jesse Itzler is her husband. He is an incredible New York Times bestselling author multiple times. And he is an online business mentor of mine. I took his course, Build Your Life Resume, which was phenomenal. He even has a calendar club now. And he is an unstoppable force. And if you're not familiar with him, start following him today. But that is what he preaches. The one thing you can never get back is time. And I don't like to waste time, period. I never have, and I never will. And I feel like working in the restaurant industry and luxury travel for so many years, these demanding, fast-paced industries where you need to have answers like yesterday, have really set me up for a successful path in entrepreneurship. And a couple months ago, I wanted to pivot and do something completely different and build something else using everything I've created over the last 2 decades. But apparently that's not working out for me. So I'm like, all right, so I'm supposed to be doing this because the universe hasn't sent me any other signals. And I keep asking and I haven't received anything. And for a while I was like, oh my God, wow, this is like really going to happen. But what happens is that when you would do a really good job setting yourself up online and building your own brand, a lot of people don't like that. And so they think that you're going to come after them. They think that you're going to take their clients. They think that, I don't know what else they think. I would love to be inside their brains. But what I was trying to do was bring my services, everything that I've built, to bigger brands and networks. And nobody wanted to be a part of it, which I still can't figure out why. But I guess I did such a good job doing it on my own. And I've heard this from a CEO of another business. He's like, I'm afraid that you're going to, what was the word that he used? Oh my God, I can't think of it. But anyway, he was worried that I wasn't going to stay. He was worried that I would bring everything that he needed, but then take more. And I'm like, what? Like, it just didn't make any sense. I ended up leaving, of course, and launching a business in Vegas, but that's a whole nother show. Going back to time and things that are not easy, I want to talk about friendships and family, because when it comes to entrepreneurship, you have to have boundaries. Your friends and family need to understand and comprehend what you are doing, what it means, like your purpose, your why, and why you're not available 24/7 like maybe you used to be. You have to set up rules. You have to have boundaries. You can't be answering text messages and calls every 2 seconds when you're trying to put out a fire or when you're trying to create something like absolutely incredible. You're not available. I can't even tell you how many years that took me to figure out. I learned the hard way with a lot of things in life, as you will as an entrepreneur. But what you do need to have is systems in place. You need to find your own way of being scheduled and organized, and a way that you can run a very well-oiled machine. Everybody has their own way. My color coding system may give you the most insane anxiety, but your crumbled pieces of paper and Post-its around in your own little places may be your way of running a business and being organized. And if somebody moves one of those crumbled little Post-its, you're going to lose your shit, because that's your system, that's your order, and that's fine. That's the way you do it. You need to find your own way where you feel the most comfortable, because if you're going to try to copy somebody else's way and make it your own, it's not going to flow very easily for you. Maybe it will, but I personally think that finding your own way, it's kind of like a trial and error situation, is best, especially when running a brand online. You need to be the same in person as you are online. Find your own systems that work. You also have to get out of your comfort zone a lot. And this is what I was just working on over the last couple of months. I really put myself out there. I haven't done anything like this in literally 2 decades. And I think that's what scared these brands. And it was very, very difficult to do this and repeatedly get no's. So again, I'm just sharing everything that I've been going through and how I get out of my own head, how I clock out, how I stay grounded, and how I flip the script. Please hold while I drink my delicious super coffee. And yes, this is an ad. If you want to try some super coffee that is filled with antioxidants, it's organic, vitamin B and D, and has L-theanine to keep you calm and focused, which is what every entrepreneur needs. Now I'm going to cough. Still getting over that damn cold. You need to go check out the link in my show notes, because I have a free trial for you. And my code SuperKelly will give you $10 off any product that you want. Best coffee ever. I literally just did an Instagram story about how I drink my coffee, because I am also a very high maintenance coffee drinker. I use Super Coffee's mocha and vanilla grounds, and I do half and half. Brew a pot, I keep it iced. I make homemade almond milk using my almond butter. I add nutmeg and cinnamon and vanilla stevia to top it off. When I'm feeling fancy, I get some coconut creamer, like whipped cream, rather. Sorry, coconut whipped cream. But there are chemicals in there, even if it's organic, that cause inflammation. And that's something that I'm really trying my best to stay away from. Now, thanks for listening to my coffee break. Going back into entrepreneurship, some of the qualities that you need to have are persistence. You need to be really persistent in your sales and your marketing. You need to learn how to follow up. If you don't know how to follow up, today is the day you start learning. If you need a lesson, you know where to find me. I have landed some of the biggest deals in my career because I followed up. If I didn't follow up, those deals would not have been complete. Sorry. You need to outsource when you can. There are so many things that you will learn in the journey of becoming an entrepreneurship, or you're learning now, or you have in the past, you will in the future. For example, when I released my book, I hired a team of 11 individuals because how the hell am I going to edit my own book? You don't, actually. Some people can. I don't. I definitely needed an editor. And we went over my book, I think, 4 times. And those are things that you would outsource. You need to give up things that you know you're not the best at. Outsource. I always use Fiverr. If you need a discount code, there's a brand deals page on my website. Go to kellyannegorman.com. I'll just link it in the show notes for you. There's a ton of brands I work with there. Fiverr is definitely a really good place for you to find somebody, or a team rather, that will help you in the things that you're not the best at. Trust me when I say outsource everything. One of my clients literally outsources every single thing that she can, and that's, excuse me, now I have the hiccups. I'm not editing this show. It's just going to be a raw and real one today, guys, because this is just where I'm at. Where I'm at is almost the bottom of my iced coffee. So yes, outsource. And it's going to save you more time. Saving time, money, and energy are 3 things that I'm obsessed with. And I preach that all the time. When you are an entrepreneur and you are organized and you think everything's mapped out, everything is going to get thrown your way. And you need to find solutions fast. I think this is, again, where all of my years in luxury travel and working in the restaurant industry has allowed me to have my brain work in a certain way that I feel like if you're not in super fast-paced, demanding positions like that, you don't get it. But I could completely be wrong. But this is just my opinion, my 2 cents. When I worked in luxury travel, I had to constantly manage people, put out fires quickly. I mean, have answers for people yesterday. There was no speaking. There was no doing. It just needs to be done yesterday. Can you imagine? Like, I don't know how I survived those careers. But this is why I know that entrepreneurship is great for me, because like I'll always find an answer. And hopefully really, really quickly. There's always a solution for something. You need to just sit down and be one with yourself and your thoughts and figure it out if you're having a really hard time. Get out of your head. But you need to be prepared for all of this. There's going to be some very, very, very dark and lonely days you're going to experience. There's going to be some days of your life that these moments happen and you never thought that they would happen. Like the best possible moment out of your entire life could happen. The largest sales can come through. The biggest pivoting career moments. Like I've experienced all of this, especially the very, very dark, lonely days. Those are scary, really, really scary. especially when you have anxiety and depression. And this is why I say, like, you have to get out of your head. You have to clock the fuck out, get off the internet, and go for a walk. Everybody always says, like, be one with nature. And I'm like, seriously? But it works. And you can only ground yourself and meditate and do sound baths and do all the self-care so much where you just need to get a good cry out sometimes. I like to clock out and watch Bravo shows because that's what makes me happy. And you can do that too if you have a good Netflix binge coming up or you want to binge The Kardashians on Hulu. Go ahead and do that. You just need to take a break and figure out your next move. And that is honestly what I was working on over the last couple of weeks while I was packing up and getting ready for this huge move. So that's basically where I'm at with entrepreneurship. And I'm excited that these things happen. Not excited. Well, yeah, I am excited. You know, everything happens for a reason. I've been saying this my entire life. And I just think that I haven't had one of these difficult and needed learning moments in my life in a really long time. And so I guess now it was needed to set me up for the next step for where I'm going. And it really made me focus on, like, what do I want to focus on this summer? So I'm like, okay, so May, June, July, August, if I do travel, if I do just stay in one place for 4 months, if I do, you know, build a new home here in San Diego, like make it my own and do all these things, like, what do I want that to look like? Like, what do I want to focus on? And that's why I created the on-demand summer coaching experience, because my mission is always to help people. I've gone through this crazy life of mine and career so that I can help more people that are going through the same, or to prevent them from going through the same. It's all a learning curve. You're constantly learning, especially as a business owner and entrepreneur. And if you're not a business owner and entrepreneur, you're still going through shit in your personal life that's going to do the same, right? So I'm asking myself, like, okay, how can I best help more people this summer that are specifically like small business owners or entrepreneurs like myself? What can I create? Because people ask me the same shit all the time. Like, how do I put systems in place? How can I get more organized? How can I do this with LinkedIn? This with my podcast, this with my business, this with the logistics, there's so many questions over and over and over again I get asked. And I've tried so many programs. I've created many programs. I have programs that you can launch your podcast on your own, but then you have me on demand for like one-on-one video calls. And then I have the same for LinkedIn. And those are all great. I set them up for a passive income stream, and also set them up because if you don't have the money to invest in something like your podcast production, which is a complete done for you podcast service, then the DIY situation is best for you. That's why I set those up. But this summer, I was like, I just want to help as many business owners as I can, but like to a max where I can give my 150% to all of them, right? So it's extremely limited, but I am in your pocket all summer long, or just for 30 days. I set it up for 30 days, but if you buy in advance the entire summer, then you save $200. And I wanted to make it a really low buy-in for you to invest so that I can help you now. That's what I just felt called to do. That's what I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to coach again, but in a different way. Like, I run around all the time. I want to, this is the best part about being an entrepreneur. You can work from anywhere. The only thing that I need to run my business is my laptop and my cell phone. And if I'm not producing shows, then I just need my cell phone. Can you imagine doing that? Like, that's a dream. That's what allows me the opportunity to be able to work from anywhere and everywhere. So if you want the same, like, let me help you do it. If you're stuck in your business, let me help you get out of it. If you're trying to create something that also needs to exist in your market and in your business, like, let me help you do it. And the way that I'm going to be able to help you is that I am on demand. You literally, it's not even through an app. I don't have time to put another app on my phone. I don't want to learn another app. You have my personal text messaging number, and we voice, we video, we chat, and whatever you need, I give you answers to. It's basically like having a business coach, a personal assistant, a virtual assistant, an experienced business owner that's telling you yes or no, like just somebody to run ideas by, another creative brain, somebody that's in it to win it with you, somebody that supports you. I can't even tell you how many people in my life did not support me when I made the best decisions in my career. And that's something else you're going to come through as an entrepreneur if you have yet to do that. It's kind of like the whole friendship, family boundaries situation. Let me know if you want me to do a whole nother episode on that, because that one is a tough one. But going back to the summer coaching experience, everything I do is an experience. I pride myself on giving the best service possible. I always have. And you can read all of my reviews on the internet, and that will prove to you, like, I love supporting other business owners. I love helping you set up successful systems in your business, as well as online and in your personal life, because you need to have everything in check. You can't run a successful business if you feel like shit. You can for a while, but it's going to end when you least expect it. I've already done that. I've already lived that life. Trust me when I tell you. So if you are interested in having me in your back pocket the entire summer long, the cost is $9.97. That is $191 savings. Or you can just pay $297 a month. But why would you do that? You can save $200. I'm all about the savings. My hourly coaching calls are $300. So you get me for the entire month for less than that. $3 less than that, to be exact. I know you could do math. But also, this is less than the money that you are spending on your coffees, on to-go food, and all the things. So let's just reel it back, put your priorities where they need to be, and figure out how I can best help you this summer in your business. That is the focus for me. I want to help as many small business owners as I possibly can. I've been doing a lot more content on TikTok to do the same. That's where you can find my recent content. I don't know. I just like my, I'm looking at my notes as I'm talking to you, and I'm like, I don't want to miss anything, because this is a really important episode, because I feel like, a lot of my other friends that are entrepreneurs as well, like we've always had these discussions, and it's just like, it's tough, and recording shows like this is also tough. And I just feel like when it is tough, that's when you need to share the most. Like when I'm feeling really down, that's when I go buy people gifts. And that's just me personally, but that's something that I would suggest. It kind of like tricks your brain and makes you feel better because you just did something nice. Like the other day I was at Target, I was in the parking lot, and I found money on the ground. And I saw this woman with kids like going crazy in her car. They were at like the Target pickup, and I was just having a really shitty day. And I saw her, I could hear the kids. And then I looked, and I was like, so I went up to her window, and she was like, what the hell? And I was like, I just found money on the ground. I'm paying it forward. She's like, oh, like she put her window down half, like really, really slowly. And she's like, oh my God. And then like she almost cried. And then I almost cried. I'm like, okay, bye. And I like ran away. But that made me feel so good. And then, of course, once I stepped into Target, I felt even better. But just doing like little things like that, it just switches your brain. I forget what you call it, but you know what I mean. So that's what I did. So it made me feel a lot better. And maybe her screaming kids calmed down, because they were like, who's that crazy lady that just came to the window and gave you money? So yeah. So if you are interested in working with me this summer, or maybe just for a month, I would love to help you in your business. If you have any questions about it, you know where to find me. Just shoot me a message on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, wherever you follow me, LinkedIn. And also, I want to wrap up this show by sharing two last things. So last week, I pushed out 5 brand new shows, all mini episodes. The first one was all about manifesting more out of your life, which is all about the apartment that I never got. So I should do a wrap up to that conversation. But another show I did was all about podcasting and how it can completely change your life and really grow your business and brand, especially in front of a global audience like this show has, like how it's completely changed my life. I talk a lot about that in that episode. I did another episode all about LinkedIn where I was literally on my laptop and I went through my entire LinkedIn profile and shared with you all the changes that you need to make on yours so that you can start making more sales in your business now, like starting today. I shared all my tips, my tricks, like my best sales tactics ever that I've utilized on LinkedIn and has, again, landed me the biggest deals in my career on that platform through the messaging app, by the way. And that was like years ago. And then what other episodes did I do? A couple others. So scroll back and listen to them. But I wanted to do many episodes so that I could share more information before I release this coaching. Everything I have is a strategy, obviously. And I knew I was launching this coaching experience. So if you need content before we work together, you can scroll back to those episodes and listen to everything that I have to say. And then if you need more, then you come and you join my coaching experience. It's going to be a fun time. I can tell you that. Like, I don't mess around when it comes to business, but I also don't mess around when it comes to fun. If you're not having fun, then you're doing something wrong. And you're going to have failures. You're going to have friendships that you're going to have to cut. You're going to have to set up boundaries. You're going to have to create all these formulas that you need in your business, but you need to have fun at the end of the day. And this is why I do what I do. There's always going to be dark times. There's always going to be the most incredible experiences you ever get to have in your life. But you always need to have fun at the end of the day, because if you're not, like, life is just too short. Time isn't promised, like I said earlier. And you got to do what you love. And this is what I love. I love helping other people level up in business and life. This is why I wrote Everything is Messy. Oh, and if you sign up for my brand new on-demand summer coaching experience, not only do you have me all the time, every month in your pocket to check in with, like literally every day, but you're also going to have a 15-minute call with me every single week, every 7 days, because following up, like I mentioned earlier, and holding you accountable. And this is something that's also really, really important, but you're also going to get a signed copy of my book, Everything is Messy, because again, I love gifts. And if you want the ebook, you can have that too. Now, lastly, something I'm trying, really putting myself out there. I'm trying to do a lot of different things this month, if you have yet to notice. I'm going to be going live on Spotify every single night this week to discuss the last 5 episodes at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you don't follow me on Spotify, the link will be in the show notes. And, I did put the link and then it linked me out. So just search for my show, and then I think you can follow me that way, and then follow me personally. You'll see my Twitter, my YouTube badge, like on my personal profile on Spotify Live. So I'm going to be going live talking about all the shows and just shooting the shit and just like having a party. So if you feel like joining me, it's tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and every other night this week, Monday through Friday, because I just released 5 other episodes. So I'm going to be talking about all 5. See? Always a master plan in my little head. So I am doing that. I'm super excited. I really hope this episode helped. I really hope that, I don't do a lot of episodes with this type of content, but I feel like I need to do more. I don't know. Let me know. But this was just something that I personally needed to share, and I knew that I needed to share it because there's so many other people searching for this type of content, myself included. So that's why I have 2 pages of notes in front of me, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And now I'm glancing over it and I didn't miss a fucking thing. I'm so excited. So just know that if you're going through a tough time, you're feeling the self-doubt, the failure, the like, why me? It's just, nothing in life is permanent. It's just temporary. I mean, when I thought I was sick, I thought that was permanent. It's just temporary. So this moment in my life is just temporary. Like, the just trying to figure it out is temporary. But I know when that sign from the universe slaps me in the face, hopefully sometime this week, I'll see the light and I'll see the sign, like, go this way. Follow me here. There's this island in Michigan called Mackinac Island. It looks like, if you read it, it looks like Mackinac, but it's pronounced Mackinac. And there's no vehicles allowed on the island, which a lot of islands are not. And there's basically bicycles and horses and a shit ton of fudge and popcorn. That is the stench I remember so well when I was there working on a really small cruise ship many, many, many moons ago. And I was on the phone with a client the other day and we were like joking about it. I'm like, maybe I should just go live on Mackinac Island for the summer, write my next book. We'll finish writing my next book and go film like content for TikTok and go make some fudge and like be in a Hallmark movie. These are the thoughts. These are the conversations I have with my clients who are my very close friends now, by the way, because we've all worked together for many years. I'm so grateful. And we were laughing so hard about it. And she's like, I could totally see you in an apron. I'm like, no, my everything is messy apron because I need to promote it. There's always a mission behind my thoughts. But who knows? Will I end up in Mackinac Island? Will I end up in Fiji? Will I stay in San Diego? Will I travel up to NorCal? Because I was talking to this other girl on TikTok, and she's pushing out all this content for Northern California. I'm like, is this my sign? I'm just waiting for the sign. If you have a sign, send it my way. But this is just like the next chapter of my life that I just need to figure out. And I'm staring at all of my stuff in clear bins and trying really hard, by the way, to sell my shit on OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor, and Craigslist. And I was super stubborn with the pricing because I was like, half of me wanted to let it go and the other half like wasn't ready. And that bit me in the ass. I talked about that on my TikTok live yesterday. So maybe I'm meant to have these pieces as part of my journey here the last 2.5 years. And I don't know. I actually wasn't going to sell these bigger pieces. And then I was like, fuck it. Like I'm getting rid of everything, but maybe I'm meant to keep them. I don't know. Life works out in very mysterious ways. And I know that. So again, I hope this episode helped. I just felt really called to share like all of this with you today. If it was too much, sorry, but feel free to scroll back and listen to those quotes again. And again, if you need some inspo in your life and some motivation, go listen to Straight Up with Trent Shelton and Your World Within with Eddie Pinero. They're so good. And there's not many people I can say that about. Also, go follow Jesse Itzler, Gabby Bernstein. Those are two of my mentors that I could not have survived the last, I'd say 2.5 years, 3 years without. But that's it. So again, if you are interested in working with me all summer long, message me today because I'm capping it at a certain amount of people. So again, I can give my 150% like I always do, but I truly want to just help you with your business and build it to where it needs to be. That is seriously my favorite thing to do. Creating systems, having them in place, getting you organized in a way that makes you feel comfortable so that you can be your best self, you know? I love doing that shit. So that's why I created the program. Anyway, I'm signing off. I'm going to upload this show and you know where to find me. Check out the show note links for everything I mentioned today. And I will talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to follow me on Spotify, 6 p.m. tonight and every night this week. Okay, bye. Thanks so much for tuning in to Kellyanne Cares, a one-of-a-kind show created to motivate, stimulate, educate, and inspire you. And I hope that happened for you today. As I mentioned in the intro, I would love your feedback on today's episode. Head to Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or your favorite podcast app to leave a review for the show. I would truly appreciate it. For more information on myself, the show, my book, and the programs, products, and services I've created, visit kellyanngorman.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the podcast community, and check out the brands I'm currently loving. Let's continue today's conversation. You can connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Kellyanne Gorman Official. All my other social handles will be available for you in the show notes. If you have a product, brand, story, or service you would like to share on the show, send me a message on kellyanngorman.com today. As always, thanks for listening, sharing, and reviewing. I wouldn't be here without you, and I'm so grateful I get to do what I love each and every day. Wishing you a happy, healthy, positive, and productive day, and I'll talk to you again soon.